It is Wednesday, October 12th of 2022, not 2020, like I said in the last guy's Daily Drive. I don't know what the hell was going on. What was going on in my head, it's hard to say. Speaking of which, you are watching and or listening to Guy's Daily Drive. Bam! And welcome everyone to Guy's Daily Drive. It has been nearly a week since the last time I've done one, but I have been very, very busy. Not exactly, not work busy, and not work busy, fun busy. How weird is that? It's been a long time since I've been able to say, I was fun busy. I like being fun busy as compared to work busy. So here's the deal. If you've been watching and or listening to Guy's Daily Drive, you know where I was. We went, Tracy and I went to Long Island, New York for our late 30th anniversary. It was the thing we were going to do, the thing we decided to do was to go to Long Island, New York and see Jim Gaffigan, the comedian, in concert. But before we get to all that, the trip up was weird. Because anytime you go to New York, the potential for weirdness is like overwhelming. If it isn't weird, that's weird. That kind of weird. So I got the rental car, which was weird. It was a weird rental car. It was a GMC, it was a GM product, Chevy, Buick, so on. I think it was an Arcadia, which is like a medium to large SUV. And it was big for me. I've been driving this Kia Soul for 5-6 years now, and anytime I get in something other than this Soul, it has a tendency to be a pretty big car, and that GMC Arcadia certainly was. And we had kind of meant to have everything ready to go, basically just pack the car up Thursday and leave. But of course, being the procrastinators that we are, Thursday morning came around and neither one of us had packed squat. Nothing was packed. Everything was still to do before we left. Whoa. We didn't eat any breakfast because we figured we would eat somewhere on the road. There's something about eating breakfast on the road that is it's almost a prerequisite. So by the time we had everything packed and in the car, it was like 10:30. So by the time we actually were moving on a highway, fortunately, because we left at 10:30, there really wasn't much in the way of the DC area for traffic. So on the road we went, and we were making really good time. And one of the things that we did, instead of taking 95 all the way up, we got off on, and most of the people who watch this probably don't know anything about the geography and roads of this area, but there's a major road, Route 50, that goes east toward the Maryland shore. And if you follow that road from the Beltway, you hit another major highway. And this highway was the way that commerce and people used to go north and south when before the interstate highways. Whoops. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, come on. for those listening, my mount is suddenly deciding to be all floppy. I don't know how long it was flopped down, because I don't typically look at the camera. Okay, but we're stopping, so I will take this opportunity to tighten it up a little bit as soon as I can stop. And there we go. So, pardon the reach. So we took Route 50 to 301 and went north that way. And the advantage of doing that, it takes just a little bit longer than going to interstate, if, you know, all conditions being equal. But you bypass Baltimore completely, and you bypass part of Philadelphia. And it's just, and besides that, it's just a nicer drive. You know, it's more scenic. It's, you know, farmlands and things like that, going through the Maryland hills and then into Delaware. And it was just a nice drive. And we got up to New York. We were hitting New York at I don't know, 3 hours into the trip. It was about 2:30 when we were kind of hitting the outskirts of New York. And I was thinking, wow, we're going to get there super early. But I had forgotten about how weird New York can be. And we hit traffic. Now, we used Apple Maps on the way up. Maps credit. Give Apple Maps. It tried to route us around the worst of the traffic. However, at the time that we hit New York, it was like just starting to be peak rush hour. So everybody was going north, south, east, and west away from the city. So as soon as we hit anything that was like going away from New York City, traffic got really bad. And it took us about 3 hours to get out to where our hotel was on the southern part of Long Island. And frankly, I was exhausted. But that kind of started a series of events. You know, the food that we ate was fabulous. Everywhere we went, the food was really good. And it was, we hit Italian twice. That first night, there was a place right there in Ocean Bay, whatever the hell the name of the town was that we were staying. And oh, it was just so good. I had some kind of chicken dish, can't remember exactly what it was, but it was really tasty. I tried to stay away from beef on this trip. And so the next day, and that kind of started part of the drama, because we were supposed to go on Saturday night. You know, this is now going into Friday. Saturday night, we were supposed to go to the Jim Gaffigan show at 7 o'clock. He was doing 2 shows that night, 7 and 9:30. And I purposely selected the 7 o'clock show because the Paramount Theater that he was performing in was on the north side of Long Island. And depending on traffic, that could take anywhere from 40 minutes to probably, if it's really bad, 2 hours to go from the north side of the island to the south side of the island. And I didn't want to be doing that late at night. But when the tickets finally arrived, they were resold from someone who bought them on Ticketmaster, and they resold them on StubHub, which became a whole drama. And they were showing us going to the 9:30 show. Seats were exactly the same section, same seats, just the later show. So I tried to contact Ticketmaster, which is almost impossible. Contacted StubHub, and they have actual telephone service, and I will give them, you know, I'm not a fan of these ticket companies, but StubHub did go above and beyond. I was able to reach like a real live person in a relatively short amount of time, and she was very helpful. And they had to contact the original seller and contact, you know, through whatever channels they had, Ticketmaster, in order to figure out what was going on. And it was going to take probably the better part of 24 hours before we were going to get any kind of answer. So we kind of had that hanging over our heads. But we figured no matter what, you know, we were up there, and whatever was going to happen was going to happen. Wow, I'm almost to work, and I haven't even gotten through to the first day. Maybe I'll do another one and evening, traveling to New York, and then finding out about problems with the Jim Gaffigan tickets. So in the next Guy's Daily Drive, we will go into what happened on that Friday, and hopefully we'll be able to get through all the rest of it. I don't want to spend like 3 Guy's Daily Drives explaining the whole Long Island trip. It was a lot of fun, a lot of stuff happened, but hopefully I'll be able to wrap this whole thing up the next time I do a Guy's Daily Drive. So, if you want to get a hold of me and say, Guy, you just talk too much, and you go on and on about tangents that have little to do with nothing, you can reach me via email, guy@mymac.com, or podcast@vertshark.com. Vertshark.com is the website that I haven't updated in a long time, and VertShark is also the YouTube channel where you can like, share, subscribe to the VertShark channel, which will not only get you Guy's Daily Drive, but the various video versions of the mymac.com podcast that I do with Gaz. Don't forget that. I do the mymac.com podcast with Gaz. Also, you can check me out on Chuck Joyner's Mac Voices Live, which I did last night for the first time in a couple of weeks. And that's always a good time with a whole big group of techie guys and girls that will kind of, I mean, obviously it's Apple focused, but they will steer you in the right direction usually, unless I'm on whatever the topic of the day is, or topics of the day. If you want to reach me via Twitter, it is so easy. I have 2 Twitter accounts, MacParrot and VertShark. Those are the Twitter accounts. What else? What else is there? Well, if you want to contribute and help me pay for all of the stuff that I do in regards to the various podcasts and live streaming that I do, go to my Patreon, patreon.com/MacParrot, and become a patron. You can buy me a coffee at ko-fi.com/MacParrot. What are you doing here, buddy? Or you can pay a pal at paypal.me/MacParrot. Don't have to. I'll keep doing this because I enjoy it. So I will continue to pay for these things whether you want to contribute or not. It's not a guilt trip. Seriously, it is not. Is it working? No? Anyway, I will see all of you next time right here on Guy's Daily Drive. Bye-bye.